Good morning and welcome to Big Agent Meeting. My name is Russ Laggan. It is April 17th. The month is flying through. We've been at rally after rally, lots of exciting things going on at EXP. But before we kick off today's show, I want to say thank you very much to EXP University's Alyssa Specht for two things. Number one, thank you for keeping the vest warm for me last week. You're an absolute natural. You did a fantastic job. And two, thanks for wearing a vest because that cracked me up when I got to see that video later on after that show. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate the humor. Thank you. You're amazing. So guys, we have a stacked show lined up for you today. If you saw Leo and Ariel Vargas in the thumbnail for the video for today, for the show for today, you already know that we're going to be talking about real strategies that work for top producing agents. It's not just that today. We're bringing you resources and the training that can help you make it all happen. So here's the truth. It requires a lot of effort to become a top producer. Everybody knows that. Marketing, planning, CRMs, blah, 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 all of that stuff. But we're here for you at every level, every step of the journey. So here's what we have in store for you today. We've got Brokerage Brief with Holly Mabery. Of course, we have the EXPU Spotlight with Alyssa Specht, always coming back every week to tell us what's going on. She's going to be talking about the exciting open house stuff that you guys need to hear. Then we're going to kick over to KGCI with Ian Wheatley. And of course, we've got some new updates from EXP solution partner Kaydoh. Yeah, you heard that right. Kaydoh, like Play-Doh, but Kaydoh. And then, of course, we've got an interview at the end of the show with Pareja and top producer Ariel Vargas. You're going to want to make sure you see that. So in this session of Where in the World is Russ Laggan, you guys might actually see that I have a different location today. I am actually on location. This is my brother's house in Orlando. I was just at the Orlando rally yesterday and had the opportunity to stay for the extra day, do some meetings, and then actually be able to hang out with my brother tonight. So Orlando rally was kicking off yesterday. It was fierce. 370 people in the room. It was awesome. So with that said, let's kick it off for the next section with Holly Mabery. She's going to talk to you about Brokerage Brief. Holly Mabery, take it away.
This was a crazy, monumental week. Not only was it April 15th and all that comes with April 15th, but on that day, we released our coming soon. And what that means to us as a company is we want to make sure that our sellers have every opportunity to put their best foot forward to as many buyers as possible. Now, this is in response to what we've seen across the real estate industry. We had moves by Compass partnering with Redfin. Then we had Zillow come out with their exclusive preview that launched a laundry list of other brokerages. But the key in those are exclusive. They're only to those single portals. And that just didn't sit right here. What we wanted to do is make sure that our sellers could be on as many portals as possible for their coming soon so they could be seen by as many potential buyers. But let's break it down because I want you to be very well prepared as you go on listing appointments this weekend to have a deeper conversation with the seller so they have the opportunity to make the best choice for them and their family. But as we get into it, I want to break this down. So I'm going to bring up my screen real fast. And as you look at it, this conversation really is that. It's important for us to always be educating and always be proactive. So first things first, what is a coming soon listing? And this is that pre-market window, right? We're maybe painting a bedroom. We only have a couple of high-level details about the property, maybe one or two photos because you're not releasing everything. Now, this is what's cool. At that point, you can actually put it in some MLSs as coming soon, and they have a window of anywhere from a couple of days and upwards of 20. This is the other thing I'll say. There's some MLSs or even states that don't allow coming soon. Okay, that's not a problem. We've got choose your own adventure, and I'll be able to show you that here in a minute. So in that pre-marketing window, it's really about kind of like going to the movie theater and you see movies that are coming out later this summer that get you kind of excited. And it's like, hey, this could be really great for us. It builds that demand a little bit early. It's a sneak peek. It's maybe not everything. The clock has not started for the sellers. So that means days on market is not dinging them. And in many markets, it also means any price adjustments from coming soon to when they go live are not counted against them either. Now, what's important in this is the seller is absolutely authorizing, yes, I want to be coming soon. Yes, I want to go out to as many portals as possible. this is the thing I'll say. In Sky Slope, we may have some sellers that say, you know what, I want coming soon, but man, do not put me out there. I just want to keep it really tight. I'm painting the bedrooms. I want to make sure the photos are great, et cetera, et cetera. My parents are coming for the weekend, whatever it might be. And they don't necessarily want showings. That's okay too. This is really about what's best for the seller and what makes the most sense. Now, the other thing I will say is once you put it in on coming soon, you can choose, hey, I can send to these portals. Now, this is what's so cool. If your MLS does allow for coming soon, and we're seeing many MLSs go down this path, awesome. It will go to every portal out there. Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, Homes.com, Come Home, all of those will have it. The key in all of this is we don't send it without the seller's permission, always. Now, when I look at what matters to your seller in getting them in front of as many people as possible, 170 million unique viewers monthly across the 3 major portals. And these 3 are Realtor.com, Homes.com, and Google, the search bar for Come Home. It's going to be amazing. So all the serious buyers are seeing that. Now, Zillow, yes, that is a very large website. It gets a lot of hits, but again, they only wanted to be exclusively the one. And that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. So as a result, how can we spread this across to as many websites as possible that allows the seller to get their house out there? It allows to kind of fish for price. And we know there's a lot of markets changing, right? Like I was just in South Florida. South Florida is seeing huge differences, about 9 months worth of inventory. But yet I look in upper New England and you guys are hovering right around weeks of inventory. So it's a little bit different. And I love this quote by Damian Ells from the CEO of Realtor.com. Sellers want clicks, not clicks, right? They don't want this only certain people can have it. They want as many people as possible. And this is the other thing that I want to break down as far as differentiation, right? EXP Access, which is Zenlist, allows a multi-portal reach, right? It's across everything. Exclusivity required? No, we are going to give our feed to anybody who asks for it. Also, we're open to all portals on equal terms. We're not going to play favorites. The seller absolutely controls what we're doing, and we follow MLS rules in every market we're in, period. That's how we're going to show up. So if you're up in Washington State, I know Northwest MLS, they don't do coming soon. Okay, follow their rules. It's that simple. Now, if you're in another company, whether it's Compass and their exclusive deal with Redfin, or maybe you're part of the Zillow preview, this is how everything stacks up. And so if you're going out on a listing appointment this weekend, and maybe you're competing against some of these other companies, I want you to be able to share with the seller, this is our approach. We want to go as broad as possible because we believe in getting you in front of as many qualified buyers as possible. That's the right thing to do. Now, I was talking about 2 paths. This is where I want to break it down, and you knowing your MLS is going to be huge. And if you're not quite sure, call your broker team. Your MLS, if they already syndicate coming soon via the Internet Data Exchange or IDX, great. You just have to put that listing into MLS and it will auto push to the public portals. You don't need to do anything with Zenlist, and away you go. For instance, California Regional MLS or CRMLS, they will allow up to 21 days on their coming soon, and days on market don't count. So you can actually help your seller kind of do this preview, do this exposure while they're painting the bathroom or maybe updating some landscaping, whatever it might be. And that doesn't count against them, but they can get that kind of scenario of, okay, what might the market support? Now, this is across the nation. We've got a lot of MLSs who are currently voting whether or not to allow coming soon. We've been in a lot of conversations, myself personally, your brokers, your regional directors, and we're really excited about it because MLSs are making that change. And we want to encourage any MLS out there, or if you serve on an MLS board, coming soon is not a bad thing. It allows people to celebrate openly and then drive to portals so we don't have this exclusivity. We don't have this restraint. And I love that. Now, scenario B, you may be in an MLS that has coming soon, but they do not allow syndication. Okay, you can do your coming soon enter it into the MLS, but then you can go one step further and enter it into Zenlist. And with your seller's permission, putting it into Zenlist will then also push to realtor.com, homes.com, and Come Home by Google. So that 170 million views, yeah, you just got that for your seller. So you're not limited if you are in a market that doesn't provide coming soon to go to the portals. We've built that bridge for you. And that's really important as you're having these conversations with your seller. They're not limited. We're expanding what's possible. Now, a lot of you are like, okay, how do I do Zenlist? What does this look like, etc.? It's actually quite simple, but sometimes having a hands-on walkthrough makes the most sense. So I've put up a QR code here. You can scan it, register. It's a Zoom link. These are the training days that we've got coming up in the next couple of weeks. And we want you to just pop in, be super comfortable. But again, if your MLS is already doing coming soon and then going to the portals, you don't have to do a thing. Just keep entering into your MLS. You are in the driver's seat. I just want you to be able to educate your sellers. That's the key in all of this. Now, when we're having the conversation with the seller, I found that sometimes having those conversation starters make a difference. And so at the listing appointment, you might consider, hey, before we put your home officially on the market, we know we're going to do these things to it. Hey, let's test drive it. Let's put it on realtor.com or Come Home or homes.com. And this will allow us to get you some feedback. Hey, maybe you do need to paint that bedroom. Maybe you do need to change that flooring. All of those types of things depending on hits. Also, this pre-market window truly is kind of that generation of what people get excited about. Again, use that movie theater preview reference. All the big summer movies, all the previews are happening right now. They're doing a combination of like social media as well as the trailers in the theater. It gets people excited. You're doing that with somebody's home, and that's exciting. So you could attract early information, you could attract early offers, all of those things. So I want you to actually have the portals on your cell phone and show them what it looks like. Does it look like on realtor.com? What does it look like on homes.com? And then explain the audience, 170 million views per month, what it means to the seller. And then basically we get that signed in the listing agreement. Use the EXP listing agreement. It'll make it a lot easier. And again, these are some quick MLS rules reference, right? So MLS syndicates via IDX, the Internet Data Exchange. So you can enter in the listing to MLS coming soon, and the time limit could be up to 21 days, like in CRMLS. Now, if the MLS does not syndicate, you use the MLS plus Zenlist per your MLS rules. It's very simple. Now, if the MLS limits you to coming soon for only 24 hours, okay, have that conversation with your seller. It still may be worth it, but you're doing dual entry, MLS as well as Zenlist. Now, if the MLS limits to 7 days, awesome. Let's use those full 7 days. I mean, if you're going to do it 24 hours, wouldn't you do it 7 days? Now, if the seller won't authorize, that's not a problem at all. We absolutely respect the seller's wishes. We want to educate them what it means to their bottom line, how it could impact time, and what goes on next. That's all there is to it. It's super easy. Now, at the end of the day, we've built this toolkit, the exptoolkit.com/coming soon. And this page you actually can download and put as part of your listing presentation. We wanted to have something really visual that you could see the different breakdown of web traffic, if you will, and how it goes forward. At the end of the day, the industry is totally moving fast. And our goal is to make sure that you are untethered. See, by some companies restraining you to only one website and then committing to that for 3 years, my gosh, where we were a year ago is not where we're going to be in 6 months. And so we strongly believe that the more we can empower you to have those conversations with your seller, have the full information before them, they make better choices, they adapt to the market better, and you get to guide them through it. So definitely watch your MLS. I expect a lot of MLS rules to change over the course of the next few months. I expect more listings coming soon. And there's going to be some different policy. We've got some different laws and regulations being implemented across the nation. So I'll update you on more on that as we go forward. But for now, I'm just going to throw back up. Hey, go ahead and take those classes. And this is how you register for everything right here. Take that training on Zenlist. Ask the questions, get comfortable with it, and go see your seller. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you very much, Holly Mabery. It was so great to see you in Orlando this week, and I can't wait to see you next week. I believe you're going to be in Vancouver too. So I get to see you week after week after week. One of my favorite things in the world. So thank you for talking to us, keeping us informed, and setting us up for success. You definitely want to make sure you check out EXP Coming Soon Toolkit to become the agent who provides the most value and knowledge to their clients. Another free way that you're able to provide value to your clients is by taking the training with me and my friends at EXP University. We have super exciting few weeks coming up ahead. So let's hear all about it from the expert herself, Alyssa Specht. Take it away.
Thanks, Russ. Good to see you back again. Welcome. Guys, my friends, last week we had an amazing session of lead mastery, database, and SOI. Thank you for everybody who came out. We had a blast. That was really good. And we just got a lot done. But now let's talk about what's coming up next week, because, man, we have got a lot coming up after EXPCon Vancouver. We have an action-packed week. So actually, let's talk about it. Starting on April 27th, we are back again with Fast Attract. If you are looking to level up your attraction game, that is where you want to be on April 27th. Then on April 28th, we are back with another lead mastery series. This time we're talking about open houses. And if you are looking for maybe a little sneak peek of what that open house session is all about, we have Payson Robertson. He's on the lab next Friday, and his open house strategy that actually helped us build this lead mastery course. And if you want even more of a deep dive with that, we have his playbook open right now. It's called 100 Open Houses in 100 Days, and that is available for you to look at expuniversity.com. But we're not done yet. Then on April 29th, we are back again with another cohort of Fast Cap. It's going to be me. It's going to be my co-captain, Candace Garcia. We are going to be helping you build the habits to build a successful, sustainable business and cap fast. So that is starting on April 29th. All of these courses are live, and you can they're available to you as an EXP agent at no additional charge. For all of those, you can register at expuniversity.com. All right, back to you, Russ.
All right, Alyssa, thank you very much, keeping us up to speed. What's going on in University? There is a bunch of great stuff coming down the pike in University, so I'll make sure you stay plugged in. Jump in expuniversity.com. Always, if you get stuck and you don't know where to go, make sure you check that out, just like Alyssa said. So Fast Attract starts on the 27th. It's going to be myself, Brian Ellington. We've got Matt Levchenko as guest host, and we've got also Josie Baez, Mota Baez. She's going to be working. So the four of us are going to be showing you guys how to do attraction and find the way that works best for you. All right, so there you go. Now, kick it off. Let's go over to Ian Wheatley, KGCI. Ian, what's going on at KGCI?
Hey, thanks. Good morning. EXPCon Vancouver's happening next week, and KGCI Real Estate on Air couldn't be more excited to be featuring some of our favorite Canadian voices next week, including Carrie Sauvé, Nadia Habib, Randy Dick, John Sy, and many more of EXP Canada's very best. And a big thank you to all of you who have trusted KGCI Real Estate on Air nearly 300,000 times for specific strategies and tactics to improve your lead generation and conversion, trusting us for scripts, and all the skills you need to grow the listing side of your business. But the voices on KGCI Real Estate on Air keep evolving, and we like to make sure that we are bringing you the best top producers from across Canada and the U.S., as well as other agents from all around the world. And you are showing up right now to the big agent meeting, and that means that your business matters and you're putting in the work. So question for you, do you have a podcast? Because if you got a podcast and you're talking to agents, I'd want to hear it. And maybe we could even get you on the air, streaming on KGCI Real Estate on Air. Scan the code and let's connect. Coming up right after the big agent meeting on KGCI Real Estate on Air, we are going to be diving into our weekly Friday focus. And this week, we kick it off with a special conversation with eXp Realty founder Glenn Sanford. Before we dive into all things AI and highlight what you need, what you don't, and how top producers are leveraging AI in their business. It's streaming all day right after the big agent meeting. But if you miss it, you can join in on that conversation. Download the always free Real Estate On Air mobile app or subscribe to KGCI on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, and more. Back to you, Russ.
All right. So if you're an EXP agent, you already know we have a ton of resources here at the brokerage. We've got the best in the business. And here to talk about how you can find seller leads, you heard me right. That's actual real seller leads with strategic marketing tools is Michael Lamb from Kaydoh. That's Kaydoh, like Play-Doh, but Kaydoh. Take it away, Michael Lamb.
Everyone wants seller leads, but most don't convert. You're getting names and emails, but when you're on a call, they're not ready and your time is wasted. By the way, my name is Michael Lamb, founder of Kaydoh, and this is the exact problem we've been solving. And here's why. Most home value funnels look like this, where the homeowner will enter in their address and immediately be forced to fill out their name, their phone number, and a bunch of questions before they even see an estimated value. So what happens? They end up leaving, they don't come back, and now you're chasing instead of winning. So here's the shift. What if you can see the seller activity before they ever become a lead? Not chasing names and numbers, but knowing which homes are actually thinking about selling, because an address is a signal. That's far more powerful than a cold lead. So we built something different. This is called the home value experience. It's one click and your live go-to-market. It's branded to you, and most importantly, it captures the one thing that matters: seller signals. Agents using this at postcards, emails, social media are generating 3 times more seller signals before they ever become a lead. And the best part, this can go live in one click. So let me show you exactly how this works. When you're in our system and you're logged into Kaydoh, you just have to go right to our template library. And when you're in our library, you're going to see all of our amazing different set of templates. And what we're going to focus on today is just, what is my home worth? And all you have to do when you're in our system for the first time, you just click on copy, and that's it. It builds out your entire seller funnel, branded to you, and you can go immediately to market. You can grab the QR code. You can slap that on a postcard. You can share it on social media. And when a homeowner scans that QR code or goes to your page on social media, they'll see a page that is branded to you. There'll be immediately a video explaining to the homeowner that they just have to put in their address and they'll get an immediate estimated value. The system we're using is a system that is used among real appraisers and lenders across the nation. And if you look at the page itself, we do bring in your profile, we'll bring in your Google and Zillow reviews. As a realtor, you're going to be able to, if you want to, swap this out entirely from the AI generated video, and it could be your own video explaining to the homeowner, to your clients, that this is a system that will give them an estimated value immediately. Once they put in the address, they will immediately see this second page where immediately they'll see the estimated value. But what's great is that they get to see your face again, a separate video where you can explain to the homeowner, this is just an estimated value. That's all it is. And if they wanted to get more accurate information, they can certainly click on this button to fill out a form. And what you're seeing here is that the homeowner gets a little preview that there's analytics behind here and they want more data. If you look at this form, it's done in a way to be very minimal with the highest impact, because we're asking for very basic information, asking for their name, looking for the email and their number. But what you'll notice is that even the question itself is very minimal, but it gives you high quality data. Because if you look at this, what would you like to happen next? Based off of these answers, you're going to know exactly their intentions are. So if I were, as a homeowner, to go through this whole process and hit submit because I want more information, what's going to happen is that this information gets collected and it will be sent to the realtor as a notification via email, text message. But the homeowner has this wonderful experience because they'll see and they'll unlock their housing data insight down to the zip code level. And what's great, this is interactive And this is a link that they can bookmark and come back to it on a monthly basis, and they'll have the most updated estimated value every time they go back to this page. So every one of your clients are going to be able to have their own unique link, their own private estimated value page. Now, if you switch gears now, going back to Kaydoh, as a realtor, you'll be able to go right to your lead section and see the leads that were generated, and you'll be able to see immediately the address they used, their name, the contact information, and this can easily be integrated with any of your CRMs. So at the end of the day, this isn't about getting more leads. It's about knowing which homes are thinking about selling before anyone else does. And if you can do that, you're not chasing anymore, you're winning. If this makes sense to you, go to exp.kaydoh.com or scan the QR code. We're opening this up in phases. For those who want to get started now, we're offering and giving $100 off the activation. So just go and apply, and we'll get you set up quickly.
All right. Thank you very much, Michael and Kaydoh. That was some really cool stuff. So speaking of marketing in your business, last but not least, we have the very own Leo Pareja sitting down with top producer Ariel Vargas to break down how he strategically markets to help him build a multi-million-dollar listing business. This is talking about getting more sellers. Take it away, guys.
Your team is called the Top Listing Group. When did you make that switch or had that aha?
2019, I want to say 2019, right before COVID. So we were
7 years into the business.
7 years into the business. It took me a long time to say the sellers is where the market is. So I spent a lot of time working with buyers. And now, to be fair, at that point, 7 years in, they were already, all those buyers now became sellers.
Statistically, exactly then.
So all those buyers became sellers, and I was like, huh. And then I saw that, hey, the lead generation that came out of a listing was so easy and so natural, and it wasn't a hard sell, to convince a buyer, because you had the listing, and if they didn't like that one, you would just find another one for them. But it was in 2019. That's when I told the team, hey, we did a training on it, actually. And we were like, okay, this is how we're going to start getting listings. And I put a plan together, a business plan that would generate more listings. We did a lot of door knocking.
And did you focus on neighborhoods that you already had sold a lot of homes? Or did you just go down random streets? What was the methodology to do the door knock?
It was actually neighborhoods that we had active listings on and sold listings on. And I didn't care where it was. I was not the agent or team lead that said, hey, let's just market these 3 neighborhoods. No, it was as a whole, the team. Where do we sell? Where do we sell as far as neighborhoods, zip codes? And then let's put our efforts on that. I did like large communities. For whatever reason, it was just easier because it would be like 15 of us would drive there, and then we would like spread out, and we would really go at it. I mean, it was interesting because people would just, yell at us and like that, and all that stuff. But we'll go to lunch after and talk about the the fun stuff that we did.
And that's how you started in the listing business. How has that evolved?
I call it the Mr. Listing Marketing System. And it's basically a plan to make sure that the listings get the exposures that's needed and sell quickly. And then I just capitalize on it. But one of the things I did a lot of mailers. So it was like this. If I had a listing, mailers, door knocking, sponsor ads, all in the same area. So I would come out in your soup, like my face will be everywhere, that you had no choice but to at least save my mailer on your fridge.
And what mailer did you send? I designed that whole mailing system center, so I'm always curious. How did you use it?
I did the quarterly ones, and it was there were so many. There were so many formats. So I did do some that were just listed, or I did some that was under contract, but I also did some that were just farming. Are you looking to sell your property? Or sometimes I did the letter, or the rip aparts, I tried everything.
Which of the letter or the rip aparts, was there anything that outperformed anything for you specifically?
I like the postcards, but not the little ones. I like the large ones, like 6x11. Mm-hmm. To me, that was the best. And I actually had people call me and said, hey, I saved your postcard from a year ago. I put it on my fridge with a magnet, and they're so colorful that it was not something you would throw away right away. Now, if I did the small ones, I only did them for the open houses because they do throw those away. They're so small. But if it's the large one, or if it's a letter, they don't throw it away. I want to say I was probably one of the pioneers when it came to promoting on Facebook. Like, I would put $20 on a Facebook ad and it will blow up. Like, the amount of people that will contact us. This was obviously, 14 years ago, when it was not as saturated as it is now.
And what was the ad? What was the ad saying and doing?
So essentially, it was new construction mainly. So we would record on a new construction site, and we would tell people that we were doing
video.
Yeah, video, and it was a home buyer event. We would tell people, hey, we are doing a home buyer event on April 10th at 10 a.m. We have 5 spots available to register. We would make it, we would tell them about the incentives. I remember there was one community that with only $100, that was your escrow deposit, $100, your earnest money. And that one was so successful. I had like 25 registrations. I believe 10 of them or 12 of them came, and about 5-6 of them bought on the spot. It was incredible. And I just continued to do that. I was very good at it. We were doing that constantly. Home buyer events, new construction events. I still do, just so you know. And it just paid off so well. It's just back then you spend less money, right? Right now I got to spend $15, $20, $30 per day on Facebook. Back then I spent the same amount for a week, and it was like 60 leads. It was just overbearing,
Have you found a similar parallel? Because one thing that I will always point out to people, there's always that moment in time. It's just probably a different platform and a different offering.
Right now, homes.com is working really well for me, especially because I have a lot of listings. So the exposure that my listings gets, it's abnormal. I mean, I'm getting a lot of unrepresented buyers contacting me directly. So I would say homes.com has been a hit for me. I still do, however, the Facebook ads and Instagram ads on the back end, on the ad center. So I'm an expert on that, actually. I actually do know how to work the ad center very well. But honestly, Leo, especially in the last 2-3 years, I'm everywhere. I advertise here, wherever it makes sense, and it's producing, and I know everything. I know everything is long term, so it's not going
to. How do you track the return on investment per lead source?
I use the CRM to the best of my ability. We all have CRMs that we don't use. I actually do. I had Bold Trail before I even merged my team into the EXP Realty model. I have a team add-on setting where I could actually use KPI. I could see how many phone calls they did. Well, I mean, it's to the T, kind of very similar to Sisu in some aspects, but I actually do use Bold Trail to the best of my ability. And obviously, I have other software like QuickBooks for my accounting, SkySlope for team reports and whatnot. So a combination of those three, it's really what I've been using.
100%. Well, Ariel, it was a pleasure having you. Thank you for the leadership you show our agents, the marketplace, and everybody else. So appreciate you. Thank you so much for your time today.
All right. Wow. That was a great interview. If you guys want to see the rest of that interview, don't hesitate to jump onto EXP YouTube channel and watch the rest of Leo's interview with Ariel Vargas. Go to YouTube, type in EXP Realty, Leo Pareja, and you'll see that edition with Ariel, and you watch the full edition from end to end there. So all these individual things seem easy to do, but it's really just a matter of doing the work and keeping at it week after week after week. Consistency is absolutely the key. Find something to do and then do it consistently. There's no one easy trick to becoming a top producer, and that's why EXP provides you with solutions and resources and all the training you need to pull it off. So thank you very much for joining us this week on Big Agent Meeting. Check out the QR code. Give us a rating on a scale of 1 to 10. Let us know how we did today. And always don't hesitate to put in a comment and let us know what you liked or what you didn't like or what you want to see us do a little bit differently. We'll look forward to catching up to you next week. Stay tuned for iConversations coming up next, and I'll be seeing you from the Vancouver EXP Con. See you next week.